Hello, welcome to another episode of Get Rich and Fit Tryin. So after a couple trials and errors, we finally got everything right. So now we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We got a lot of stuff that's been going on. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and talk to the team real quick. All right. Got everything kind of set up here. Oh my god, NQ is still rocking off. Is it bad to eat on camera? I didn't even have breakfast yet. Is it poor sport for me to eat on camera? I was watching the Gilbert Arenas podcast, and Nick Young kind of got caught putting a candy in his mouth, and they asked him a question at the same time, and he's like, "Oh," and you could kind of see he was like really, really struggling to get his point across. So yeah, I think it might not be necessary for anyone to be upset if someone's eating. Especially we got such a long show. This thing is gonna be out into 10:30. Let's go ahead and find our opening range. Let's see. Yep, this was my short right here. Oh, it did get past. Look, it got the 250. It got the 227. Oh man, I should have had that thing. Look at that bounce off of that 15-minute 200 EMA. Oh, that was the play. That was the play. All right, so our first 15-minute kind of looks like this. Ah, got the wrong side. I'll fix that. Wait, your top stat not working? Mm. Did you pay for the upgrade for July? I mean, renewal? I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, I should have been in this from here. I got caught up downstairs doing some other stuff. Let me see, what time did it hit this bottom? I was still on my phone call. There was no way. So I had a one-on-one early this morning that it took me a lot longer than I expected. It was supposed to be from 7:15 to 7:45, but the person is brand spanking new, so trying to go through all that detail. And you already know me. I don't like to leave people asking questions, so I'm like, anything else? Kind of like mindset. I was still asking for anything else, and then I'm like, Jeffrey, you gotta go. You might get it. You might get it. We're almost to like 320. $50 stop loss? Okay. Meanwhile, let me go ahead and check out what my alert. There goes that dog. That freaking oil dropping some more. I want to see that. This is what these alerts have. It said I only got two. Chipotle on the daily. So Chipotle is coming off the bottom of a trend line. It looked like they were about to put in a morning star too. Let me go ahead and put an idea here. I'm thinking of something like this. Here, maybe if I want to be aggressive, a stop here. I'll probably bring us back to that trend line. 345. Okay, solid. I like that. 345. Not. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to keep my consistency too. It's been a little interesting. Okay. Mhm. Okay, and then I have MU. This thing is they're fighting against it though. This is a micro trend to the downside. Maybe a tiny position here. MU upside. Let's go with that. Yeah, try that because if you sign out and sign back in, it should reset your thing. See if that works out. No. Yeah. Yeah. It should be a regular chart. No. So your chart is not even pulling up. Okay. Well, when you log into the TradeVate, is it giving you issues? All right. Give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and flip into uh, my account. Let me go ahead and do that right quick. Bear with me. Because we're almost to opening range territory. All right. Let's see how this goes. I got to make a camera only scene. You said the 5-man. Oh, okay. We end up pop. Did we make new highs? Oh yeah, we did make new highs. Oh, oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, we making new highs. It sounds like they don't want you to be great, Javi. They do not want you to be great. 10 minutes behind. Oh, you know what? You might not have your real time data subscription. Double check that. Real time data? Oh yeah, it could be as much as 50. I think E-Trade has it at 15 minutes behind if you don't have real time data. You go inside of your thingy, that, and then settings and billing. Your logo, your name, settings and billing. Mhm. Subscriptions. we just keep on making them hot, more and more highs. We just ripping and roaring. But what I'm kind of confused is what's going on with Upstart. Let me see what's going on over there, because this thing is saying my contract is losing value, and it's gonna be losing no value. Ew. They're trying to push it right back down. You ain't gonna get that win. You already liquidated. Oh my God! I should have. As I ignored taking the first 15 minutes of the market. Now, if y'all don't know, I always don't take the first 15 minutes of the market unless I feel like real ballsy, and I'll just go ahead and take some scalps. But I'm trying to build that discipline coming in, because so we got this 4 hour, and what I didn't like about the 4 hour was that we kind of during the Asian session kind of came down into these levels here. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're going to test back into the fair value gap. They said, what fair value gap? We out. They just came in with like a speed bump, boop, and just pushing it right back up. Probably going to have to just wait for a better setup, but I'm going to wait for this 4 hour to completely resolve itself at this point and see what they're doing. They're probably aiming for that 350, which we're getting very, very close to that 350. But I did warn people during the morning show that the US dollar was dropping and that the British pound was popping, and when they both popping and dropping, then the market starts to pop. So we're gonna go ahead and see how this thing holds up throughout the day. And right now this 15-minute opening range looks like this. It looks like a monster. I think I'm gonna get one of those diamond hands. I'm really considering it. Oh, there's another promotion that they just went. Let's see. They extended the freedom sale, so 90% off all the other accounts, and then direct to funded and static it is 65% off. I'm sorry, direct to funded, static, and fast track. So that's gonna be very interesting. All right, we're starting to cap off this 15-minute. We got like less than 5 seconds. Let's see what we're looking at. Let me go ahead and switch over to solo and fix my account as well. I got what I need. We're gonna go eval level right now. Let's go that route. I think this thing is gonna do something crazy, but I don't feel like doing that in my PA. I'll just hold on to that, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a stop down here somewhere, and I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that off this first part of this 15-minute and see if they'll just hold me. I got like $165. I don't care if I make like $10 or whatever, but I just want to sit with one contract and see what they're sweeping for. We're well past the 350 level, which is crazy to think. Let me go to my Thinkorswim. I forgot to log into that one. So to kind of tell you what's going on with my Thinkorswim and why I want to go check it out, I did something a little insane. I took some calls. Let me go get the exact calls that I got. Thinkorswim. De loggy de ini. And with those Thinkorswim calls, what I end up doing, I got, to give you a little bit of a background. Oh, my meta's taken off again. But you know, that kind of bled me dry. You need to give me much more than that. UPS is still down a little bit. I took the QQQ 650 calls that expire way out there. I think I did December. Or was it June? September. September. No, not June. September, I meant. And right now, this thing, position wise, it is up like 15%. So my take in that, and mind you, this was like 20, $30 or whatever. I want to see what ends up happening here, but I think if it gets to that anywhere close to that 600 level, it would do something insane to this contract. But the only reason why I think it may not is because again, we've been making new highs over and over again, and I think the market's gonna go ahead and like really pull this thing back and take a little bit of a break. So very interesting on these earnings and see if these earnings are the catalyst that's gonna go ahead and drive it. But you can see we already hit 565 on QQQ, and we could see something a lot more higher. So let's see how that ball rolls. Let's see. I am really curious on this. CMG and MU. I have a small position over at CMG too. I can agree with that. Let's do that one. Hold on to that for a couple of days. All right, let's go back over to NQ and see what's going on with that eval. All right, 15 minutes. I can see this. All right, I am sitting on about $445 in profit. Again, I'm taking this with a bit of a grain of salt. I might put a stop here or here. I don't think 455 is all it has. I think we got some more. I just got to find the liquidity and start taking them. But as far as opening range breakout, this thing broke out. You're talking about I don't know if it's going to test the fair value yet. Nah, this thing is running away. You think so? The 1 minute fifth? You get an orb, yeah. You think the 1 minute is going to get tested? I'm just playing around a little bit. $341. Yeah, I want to see this give me another green candle. Oh no, I'm just chilling because this thing can go ahead and reset all of that. Oh, what level you said? Yeah, I got that. Possibly. I'm just patiently waiting for whatever green it is. Yeah, it expired. Hmm. Yeah, no, that's when I start hearing those things, I already know it has to do with the real time data. You're funny. You sound like a person that's like, oh my god, this making more money. I wanted to buy more cheaper. Why are you making money? Stop making money. Oh, you got totally out of XRP? We're putting in a 5-minute fair value gap right now. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good thing. It's not good for the Bears. I think the Bears will be upset. Like, ah, my God, they make it fair. Yeah, I like to make the Bears mad, especially when I'm in a bullish position. But it looked like that woman is running out of steam. That's what happens when you have new highs. I I, I almost want to lock in a little over $200 by getting right here, but no, just getting ready to just lock in my profit. But you could kind of see the yeah, but you can see the reset of the stochastic on the 1 minute is probably going to make things interesting. So I want to see what happens there. You say you don't like the green wick? Meta, I'm down like 28%. That thing's getting his butt whipped. They don't want me to be great, Javi. They don't want me to be great. I wanted new highs. That's why I hang on to this. But you see how that massive sell-off that just happened right there? There's a fair value gap test. Let's see if we get a rebalance here, or I'm just going to go ahead and give like 400, 500 bucks away. I'm okay with that because I'm looking for something much, much bigger. All right, see if we can get ourselves a solid reversal here. I'm still in my position. I got a very shallow stop above the profit. I was thinking about just taking just a little over 200 because that would have been somewhere around this stop here. But I was willing to sacrifice it, thinking that this thing is. I think this could be $1,000 one contract move. That's what I really think it is, because when we broke through 350, it made me question: are they going to test 2,400, which is my level from last week? Oh, we got a nice little kick there. I want to see what they do here. If it breaks through here with that kick, I'm going to take it. I'll weather the storm up into here. I'm getting in scalping mode. I told myself I was going to scalp today. Let me calm down. Come back to the 4-hour, Jeff. Come back to the 4-hour. You can kind of see with this 4-hour, the way everything is pointing. 4 hours and got a nice little curl. They wanted the 4-hour to fail, but that 4 hour is giving us a nice little pop here. I'm looking for this thing to finish real strong as we go into 10 o'clock. Well, remember we got a 4. What it do, Rod? Good morning, my neighbor. We got a nice little pop, Javi. That's a nice one pop. I know she ain't calling me right when I'm on a trading floor. Oh, I did say I was going to buy one here, but I just noticed we're going to get close to 10 o'clock, so I left it alone. But that's all right. I am up $650. Come on. What happened? What did you do? Don't tell me you did what I think you did, Javi, because I don't like how you say you don't want to know. Did did you actually trade in NQ and you instead of you making $65, you got like 7,000? you you was trading the chart of XRP thinking it was the NQ opening range. Swagger. Oh, they hit me. I was just about to drop that stop. I got lost in conversation with you. Oh my god. You know, let me take my 450. So you're looking at your profit. You're like, wait a minute. Why this thing says I only got like $5? Where's the profits? Where's the profits? uh, I think we got close to 400, and everybody started taking their profit. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Just got a crazy freaking text. Nice pop. You got your target. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I got your target. Can't go wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, bear with me. This is why you can't look at messages while you're trading. This thing just took me for a loop just now. Uh, dealing with people, man. whatever. Ah, can't deal with people. Sorry, I had to get off the camera and everything because the life of an entrepreneur is just one of those days. There we go. They finally got to that 400 level. Does that mean we blast through it? That'll be crazy. That would be crazy. I should have been in this because when I played the short earlier this morning, because I got a nice little alert, and like I said, I spent a lot of time trying to code some of the ideas that's in my head. This was not that. This was my Pac-Man strategy. This one, it was setting up 133 ticks. I took that short. That was a nice little short. That was this, but it shot even lower than that. So even though it shot down for almost 200 ticks, I still took like 133. But this reversal, I had a feeling it would happen after the market opened. This thing got momentum and never looked back. So we're talking about a complete pivot down at this level here, and it just continued. Now, there was some earnings this morning. Was there anything that really stood out on the earnings? Let me see. NXPI. It might have been that. It might have been that. That's a semi. NXPI. Are you the one that's... Yep. That's what it's got to be. Let me see. Where's your earnings? Oh, no. Actually, no. That's this afternoon. Where's this morning? I need this morning. That's hold on. You got Verizon. No, nothing is in tech. Verizon is a 3% surprise. Cleveland Cliffs. I haven't seen this name in a while. A little bit of surprise over there. I'm going to bring back in Q so we can keep an eye on this. Uh-oh. What just did? Okay. I froze my computer. Still rising. It is still rising. Yeah, I don't see anything that's really tech related. Maybe they're positioning themselves so that way they can get ready for earnings. Is there someone's earnings that's coming up between today and tomorrow? I know Tesla's in that play. Let me see the Tesla. Who is driving the market back up? I know Netflix slightly up. Up $10 on Meta, so that's one that's probably playing a part. It ain't Tesla. Tesla's not on the bottom or the top. Let's see where the Tesla. Just kind of sitting stagnant. You're back. All right. Coinbase is up $8. Man, that thing is going to be a $500 stock. That's crazy. Domino's is dropping heavy. Oh, they pouring back into cybersecurity. Is that what you're doing? I got CrowdStrike jumping up $13. Very interesting. Who's driving us? Let me do another one on my list. Let me do my KKQ list. Apple is above that 213. I've been staring at Apple on wondering if it can hold 213. Now, if it can hold the 213, then we might be getting a nice little rally out of Apple. All right, let's get out of the news. Needs to. It needs to. We are. It's a scaredy cat. I feel you, Javi. I feel you. And look, it after a major move like that, trying to short it on a reversal to play it back into the opening range is probably not the most comfortable position in itself. It is, it is. All right, so let's do it this way. Let's do it. Let's get you some confidence. Let's put some deviations of these trend lines so that way you can see it. Because to be honest, I would you're about to dance with the lady with the lady in red. That's what you're about to do. Oh no, I I know. Mm-hmm. Uh, mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, so hold on. So you was in the trade? Oh, I thought you were saying you wanted to take it short, and you did. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one, this one. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, is the 20 contracts that messed with you? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's time for me to beat you up then. Let's get it over. You already know. I'm about to get into the. So I'm gonna ask you this question. Which one was it? Was it your primary setup, your alternative setup, or was it contingency setup? Which setup was this? Because you got a lot of strategies. I know that. Which setup was it? It's a hobby setup. Ah, you said the hobby setup. But that's what. So this one right here is usually my low leverage and everything else because I know consistently is going to go ahead and give me exactly what I'm looking for, right? But this one right here, you're close to your no. I'm sorry. You said you hit your goal, right? Oh, you was okay. Okay, so you so that. So first one, okay. So now you already hit your goal, so you already did your primary, so you exited out of that one. So now you need your other account. So okay, so was that your primary setup? Which of course, primary setup is your opening range breakout, right? So now with the opening range breakout, it's already gone. So you're at your alternative or contingency here. So now for prior alternative, right? So alternative is supposed to make up for what was missing out of the primary, right? So that means that's why it was a bit of a counter trend, right? So this one is like your protection. So you're supposed to let this one stop loss hit, right? So think of it like this one is like 65% success rate. This one is like it's around that 65, but if I'm wrong, this thing can hit my stop loss more times than not. And in contingency, you take your your easy, no nonsense. This is the setup that I'm gonna take. Hey, you want this?
Can I have more control?
Oh, that's what you're here for. Check over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's the funny thing. When this part of the trade happened, right? It was 40 ticks. If you just let your trade work, you was up. Let's see, what's that, about 30 ticks? Your entry comes down, but your target does not change. So I don't know what your target was. Was it the entire fair value gap? Were you aiming for that? Exactly. That, so now you probably looked at it like, okay, I saw green, and that's why I like to have. All right, I'm looking for this to happen, because if you look at the money, sometimes the money will play with your head a little bit. So let me go ahead and make this screen a little bit bigger. Yeah, yeah. So always look left. If you think about it, you're already in here. They can't take out this high. And mind you, we're talking about something very granular, very interesting overall from a perspective of anytime you get to a trade. First step, you said you was at the top of this wick. I think part of the reason why you was on top of this wick is, all right, I see that this is giving me a 400 psychological level rejection, right? So now that you're in that trade for that, it's not making any higher highs. So you put your stop loss at 40 ticks, which is well above here, which of course they came for that target. So that means, what are they coming for? They're coming for something here. When this, yeah, but the fair value gap right here in the 1 minute, right? So you got to always keep your target in mind, because it's, here's my stop loss because I think you're going to do this, and the probability is, for lack of numbers, 75% of the chance, right? And if that's the case, don't play with the numbers. Leave the 40. Now, if you told me that you had got past your break even and you trailed it tight, that's okay too, because you was adding contracts too. So so here's the balance that you have to have, right? It's one or the other. Am I balancing this for the fact of, I got too many contracts? Because again, you're going to be adding. This is how I deal with it, because I scaled a lot too, Javi, right? So I'm getting more because I'm anticipating it's going to continue in my direction. So if I'm anticipating it's going to my direction, then that means when we get close to my target, I have to make a decision. Like this one right here, like this wick here. You could took your profit right off of this level here. Like when it got, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. Oh, after you saw this was pulsing up and down, and you wasn't too sure. But so now this is why. So now this is why people say don't go to 1 minute charge. I want you to give it a try of coming to a higher time frame. 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minutes, something like that. Give me 1 second. Hold on for a second. So remember what we talked about the Casper setup? Okay. And this is what you're gonna have to. If you're gonna be in the 1 minute, you gotta practice maybe even going faster on paper trade and try to get yourself to really process everything faster, because isn't this isn't this your setup? Mm-hmm. I know, but but again, LeBron James doesn't have to think about taking a jump shot. Why? Because he's taken a thousands of those same exact positions, the fallback, all that stuff. So you have to take thousands of exactly pointed, specific items, and not just take it based on the parameters of what's presented. You see that pop? Isn't that's the Casper? That's the Casper right there, isn't it? Right. So now watch this. Here's your fair value gap. That's the first test, and they try to push it back up, right? Hold on for a second. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, Javi. Mm-hmm. 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 That's the other part. The, I agree. I want you to not think of I don't like to give money back. I want you to start thinking of out of this money, I'm willing to give this back. Then you're gonna always face this. Then you're gonna always face it. Yeah, because you got to remember. I wish the market just went in one straight direction, and most times it does. But I always look at it as, all right, I'm willing to give you this, for you to give me that. I'm willing to give you this, for you to give me that. So I, mm-hmm, it just keeps going. Yeah. Ah, I see what you're saying. Because you're kind of, so you're bringing in a little bit of what I how I trade into it, and you're also mixing in how you normally react to it. So you're seeing a different. I got you, and that's only practice going to help. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 On one shot. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, and that, but that's the thing with the prop firms, right? I think because they have the trailing drawdowns on us, it's almost like they're advertising our stop loss that is trailing it. So I'm very weary on where I enter in the market, and I'm very weary on how much it pushes up because like this push up right here, I will not be surprised that this push up wasn't really that they hit some major wall and they're selling it off. I feel like they realized, oh, we got a whole bunch of these stop losses that was trailing. Let's go get those real quick, and this is where we get into this. And then the people that sit on the sidelines, they're stepping in because they're like, oh, this looks good. Let me short it like this. And they're trying to attack the fair value gaps because, again, we've been on this upside for the longest. So there's more downside opportunity than upside opportunity. So if that's the case, that's why I love drawing my trend lines for bump and runs because this gives me a visual of what they could be thinking. So, so to kind of, um, mm-hmm, I mean, I'm there. 954. Okay. 954 trend line up. So you got it. Okay. So this is where I'm going to push back on you. If you're going to do trend lines, I find trend lines are much better when you come down to a higher time frame and then adjust. What do I mean? So for this case, let's just say no, you got to find one that's comfortable for you. So in this case, sometimes I do it. Oh, for me, okay, yeah. Okay, so let me do the full scalping setup to kind of get it. Now, when I get in my greedy mode, sometimes I'll stick to 1 minute and go down to like 15 seconds. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's one of my setups too. But I don't recommend that for the weak of heart. It is not easy, and you better raise up your leverage. Yeah, I'm just you take that. So here's the 15 minute, right? If you really think about it, using this 200 on the 15 minute as a pivot, I use this as a starting point. So then when I come down to something like an entry time frame, now I go to the 1 minute. So when I'm in the 1 minute, I'm asking myself a question. Well, if that's the pivot and those are the 2 points, look what it did. This is what it did to the 1 minute. Then that means that's not accurate. So then what I'll do, I'll turn around and delete it. That means this is the true trend, right? So of course, same rules, higher highs, higher lows. These are your higher lows right here. And then you get your deviations. So this is how I built those trend lines earlier. It was like this. Then I came, squeezed the chart down a little bit, and I was like, okay, this area right here is a point of interest. So let's go ahead and put that like this. And again, because we do some sideways movement, it's going to alter the trend. So then I'll go ahead and do something along the lines of this. Now, the first one that I had set up was built on the 5 minute, hence the reason why this is slightly different. So your 955 is not really a trend except for a 1 minute trend, and that 1 minute trend has broke. So that one is not accurate. It can get beat up. They could use that support. They could be building up their position. They could be using the 954 as a pivot point, and then it's doing is just reloading at that area. Technically, that's what they did here, over at this area here. So they kept on reloading, put in a morning star, did everything. They got 87, and then boom, exploded to the top side, right? So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, why is not respected trend lines? I must be doing something wrong. It's a different higher time frame that they're looking for. So in this case with the 15 minute, it looks like we're at the back side of the 15 minute. You see how I kind of rejected at that area? That's because the 15 minute trend line started here. That's its deviation, and we're here. Of course, bearish divergence, right? So I do agree that this 954 is a trend. Not knocking it, not taking anything away from it. This would be a pivot here to here to here, and then this will be a deviation like this. Very, very solid for the most part. But I think this thing is going to relatively fail because it's built on the 1 minute, which is smaller time frame trend. I won't be surprised that we come back down, and the real target they're looking for is down here versus there. Can it break through? Yes, but I think that it's breaking through only because the 15-minute is hitting its backside line. That's this line here. And that's going to be the breakout. That way you can trade. I do all higher time frames wins over lower time frames. That's the best way to answer that. So even though I drew that line on the 1 minute right there, I believe this 15-minute is trying its best to continue to that upside. If you try to enter right now, I won't be surprised that you get stopped out quick. Why? Because that 1 minute is being used as liquidity for some of the bears that is in that position. That's what it looks like. So the best part for you to get a breakout would be probably the 15, because now the bear's gonna be like, oh man, this sucks. We adjust our trend line for the 15, and as close as this line as possible is what we would be looking for. But until then, this is not a trend adjustment. And then you could pick your poison. I love order blocks on getting in. Like when you know how like SJV like, hey, you know, I'm about to get in, I want to see something. To be honest, I think he gets in at blocks where the crosses are happening. In this case, I don't use EMAs, but I am using trend lines. So this is the block that's close to one of my crosses, and the more that it plays like this, I'm thinking that this 15 minutes is going to go ahead and take out this high. Then you get your added confluence. But again, speculatively speaking, this game can go ahead and turn into a double M right here on the spot. But I would turn around and be a 15-minute trader if I could adjust this trend line, assuming that the 15 minutes taking over. Oh, there we go. So now I'm going to adjust this trend line like this. I'm very close. Boom. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put a stop right here. They stop me out. Cool. I don't care. But if I'm a 15-minute trader, this is going to be part of the breakout. But we'll see what happens. Again, we are at 10:30. New 30-minute candle, new minute, and everything else. Of course, that's added confluence, but this is what I would be vigilant. Yeah, I'm going up because we just made a higher high, and I'm anticipating that the 15-minute short traders are like, holy shit! I don't believe they just went ahead and came in here. They might get us, but if I can't get through this wall for whatever reason, it could be a psychological level, it could be a previous high, it could be anything along the lines. Then I'm going to be targeting this 450 right now. But I'm using the support of this 15-minute trend line as my friend. And if it respects it, cool. If it doesn't, I'm out. This one is more because of the order block that I think I'll re-enter here if I'm wrong, because I just entered with a market order because we made a new high. Assuming that we just broke through the trend line, now we adjust the pivot. I'm anticipating everybody else is making that same adjustment, and then they're getting in right now. But again, it might not work out, and that's why you gotta. Yeah. 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 Correct. The reason why I keep on repeating that is because sometimes, and I remember when I did a one-on-one with somebody, they was like, oh, but the trend line, it should hold the trend line. I was like, no, it's just a high probability it will hold the trend line. But the market's going to do whatever the hell it wants to do. What if we're walking into a 4-hour order block that says, hell no, we won't go, and it just slams the whole entire thing, and it's too much for everybody's stop losses? It's just going to cascade, bing, 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 like a waterfall, and hit everybody at once. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you hit it. You hit it hard enough. It was built and designed for 50 mile per hour for the guardrail, but you're hitting that thing at 110. So congratulations, you're gonna go fly right off as if it doesn't even exist. and and that's what's happening now. Yeah, we're at all time highs. If I'm sitting out of the market, I'm not trying to buy high to sell it higher. But that means there has to be more buyers, or at least some type of convincing factor that tells me that there's more buyers here. Do they want to see higher prices? I think they do. I think they want to get to 450 because that could be a nice little target depending on where they're getting out. But when we start to do these long consolidations sideways, when we start to make these rises and it starts to wedge in price, that means there's less buying happening and less breaking out happening. And eventually, someone's going to be like, from down here, is like, oh, we're not making no more higher highs. Let me take my money. And some people are like, well, I got my stop loss right here. Let me go ahead and lock in. And it cascades right through. That's why it's important that you just, like, these candlesticks are telling so much information. And it's almost like you can see the story in itself. But sometimes we just don't pay attention. Oh, it's coming down. It's coming. The way this is acting right now, especially with the adjustment of that new trend line, this is now this is the micro trend that's trying to take over. Let that micro trend fail. There could be people that was sitting and they couldn't wait to short it. If this thing breaks, like right now, this is what it looks like. This point right here. Let it break out to that top side. If I was you know what? This is my eval. I'm ballsy. Let's go ahead and add another one here. All right, and I'm gonna adjust my stop. I'm gonna put 2 here. Just that move. No. I wanna show you something. Just that move right there, and that's why I said sometimes I feel like the market, they see our stop losses because there's book maps, there's level 2, they see all those things. If there's not enough people stepping in the same way that I just stepped in, guess what? I'm the one that's gonna end up holding the big hot potato of excrement. See, we put in another doji. Oh, no problem. Yeah, you see what I just had to go through. It was over remote controls. Go ahead, do you think? But yeah, for all of y'all that's in Get Rich or Fit Tryin on YouTube, it's just it's not the easiest of things, and right, but to be honest, like if you just chart out properly, you're gonna start to see fingerprints of everything that's there. Are you gonna be right 100% of the time? Hell no, it's just impossible. No one can do that. If that was the case, then I'll have 5 million% return on trades, just like Warren Buffett, but just on a 1 minute chart, because it would be just that great. But you can't just automatically assume that the market's going to do what you want it to do. But what I can assume is now that this kind of did a little bit of a deviation, maybe they are looking for this as a rejection area for them to go ahead and come down. But if it fails to do so, and this accumulation phase is accumulating for the purpose of breaking out, then we're going to go ahead and realize there's no more sellers that's willing to sell at this level anymore. And then now the market has to go find sellers at the top, hitting everybody's stop loss that's not paying attention. That's why you see when they remove orders, take orders, take orders. It's those book maps and the level 2s that's doing that, because they can see every intricate on where the demand is. That's what those level 2s are for. They're supposed to let you know, hey, there's contracts over here. Hey, let's go get this. But the brokers has something that's even far more accurate than the things that they sell on the retail side. So you gotta draw properly. If you don't draw properly, you're going to run into brick walls. And right now, because of that 15-minute candle doing what it did, and we got like about another 7 minutes into that, we're probably gonna just consolidate sideways until the bears get tired or the bulls get tired. They're just that simple. Where would you have the best success? To be honest, I'll probably have more success playing this to the downside and probably chopping it down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But I hate ranges. Or maybe I would have better success if I waited for this order block, because I think this order block is going to be a key area. It's either about to hit my stop in a little bit. It might be a key area that they can't wait to go ahead and load up. Maybe there's individuals that's like, you know what? I'm gonna take my profits here because they had some profits from here, and I'm gonna wait for them to get here, and I'm gonna enter here so that way I can take it back up because we just finally reset some oscillators. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. But the fact is, if I see something, I take it, and if I don't, I just go ahead and let it go. I probably could have did a small profit or small loss the whole entire time, but I'm looking for this 15 minutes to really take off. Can it take off? Looks like they can. Did they hit the stop loss? Take it in the chin, be like, all right, that didn't work out. That scalp was terrible. But if this thing turned into a bullpen in like 30 seconds, boom, it just explodes to the upside, hitting all this sell side liquidity, and it looked like they're building sell side liquidity all right here. Like I could imagine. I've seen level 2 a few times. I can imagine stop losses are sitting here, 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 and here. And if this here area breaks, let me go ahead and mark this area. If this area breaks, this thing's gonna go ahead and just like blast off to the upside. But anyways, let me go ahead and tap out with y'all. Y'all have a great day, and then I'll see y'all tomorrow for Get Rich or Fit Tryin. I would love to kind of wait to show y'all this, but I gotta go get back to my team and break down some more stuff. Y'all have a great day. I kind of wanted to see if it was going to hit my stop. Are you going to hit my stop? Hit my stop so I can be able to end the show here. Or they might wait till the next 5-minute candle to do it. That's what it is. Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. And you can see it's just slow drip. All right, so they hit my stop. They probably load up right in here. So look out for this key area. Anyways, I just wanted to show y'all that. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.